Your viewers may know that any military member that requested a religious exemption had to go through an interview with a chaplain to test the sincerity, in my case, of my Christian faith. My chaplain told me during that process, and this is a direct quote, "My superiors have instructed me to trick you into saying things that'll make it easier for them to deny your application."
Your organization has achieved a significant dent in vaccine mandates.
We didn't do the science. We didn't do the clinical trials. We didn't do the post-safety. But one thing we know it's rare.
Good morning. This is Angie Lemons with Texans for Vaccine Choice, and we are here at the Republican Party of Texas Convention in Houston. And I have a guest, Jace Yarbrough, and he's going to tell us a little bit about himself and what he's doing here.
Thanks for having me, Angie. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the good work that Texans for Vaccine Choice does. Yeah, so my name is Jace Yarbrough. I am the Republican nominee for the new congressional Texas 32. This is one of 5 seats redrawn by the Texas legislature. The goal is to flip them from Democrat to Republican. So we secured the nomination back in March for the party and are hard at work to make sure that the next representative from Texas 32 is a Republican.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being with us. And I just have a couple of questions I'm going to ask. Why do you think that vaccine choice matters in Texas?
I think fundamentally, parents and individuals have the God-given right to make this decision for themselves. Unfortunately, the medical community cannot always be trusted with what's in the best health interest for individuals and families. And that is an unfortunate reality that has been proven out just in the 20th century in America. Unfortunately, there have been many times when the medical community has, for reasons that are not related to health, gotten behind a particular treatment or vaccine. And so both because this is it is the responsibility of parents ultimately to make these decisions for their children, and because the sort of government institutions and members of the medical community don't always have those best interests at heart.
Absolutely, and COVID certainly proved that out. I think a lot of people woke up during COVID and they realized that medical liberty is so important.
Yes, ma'am.
And so have you met any families impacted by vaccine mandates? And how did you feel about that and the medical discrimination they faced?
Sure. Well, my own family was, so I refused the vaccine and was reprimanded in the military as an active reservist for it. So it had a big impact on us, and it was part of our story for getting more involved in the political process. As I was going through my own battle against the military on this front, your viewers may know that any military member that requested a religious exemption had to go through an interview with a chaplain to test the sincerity, in my case, of my Christian faith. My chaplain told me during that process, and this is a direct quote, "My superiors have instructed me to trick you into saying things that'll make it easier for them to deny your application."
Wow.
And so, it was an attempt by the left and the political apparatus that they controlled to try and force us to toe their political and cultural lines. It had nothing to do with whether or not getting the vaccine was the right medical choice for me. I have, on the advice of my primary care physician, who strongly advised me against getting the vaccine because it could have resulted in a condition in my case that would have made it difficult for me to provide for my family. I put in a medical exemption, and the Air Force summarily denied it after a 90-second interview with a major who never met me. So, but in addition to that, the legal work that I do, the firm that I'm a part of, my law partner and I got our start when a bunch of United Airlines pilots came to us and said, "We don't want to get the vaccine. Our employer is forcing us to do it. Would you sue them?" And we said, "Sure." So we have a number of vaccine cases, and so I know hundreds, thousands of individuals who have refused the vaccine and been impacted negatively professionally for it. Some who received the vaccine and suffered adverse consequences as a result, medical consequences. So I'm very familiar with a number of people who were affirmatively harmed by it, yes.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing your personal testimony on that. And just one final question. Medical liberty means to you?
Well, I think the idea of stewardship is really important in this space for me. So, the Lord has given us the requirement to steward our bodies well and to obey our consciences. And whenever certain medical treatments, because of technologies that are available, are, for example, derived from the wanton taking of innocent human life, in the case of the COVID vaccine, it is our God-given duty to stand up against that sort of atrocity, in my opinion. And so I see it as part and parcel of, among other things, the exercise of our faith. And those questions are only going to get more intertwined as technology and its capabilities increases.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for standing with us, Texans for Vaccine Choice. Jace Yarbrough, we appreciate you being here, and good luck in the election in November.
Thanks, Angie. I appreciate it a lot.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to the Shot Callers podcast. Please, if you found value in this content, rate us and share the podcast with a friend. It's a great way to get the message out and to empower everyone to make informed decisions. Until next time, never forget, we are the Shot Callers.